My name is Elewokor. I'm the CEO of Voltican. Voltican, we are a data analytics company. So we do work from data analytics, which is reporting, financial reporting, supply chain reporting. Anywhere there is data, Voltican, we will be able to move data, organize data, curate data, and apply machine learning to it. Everything data is what we do in the technology and business areas. Our core focus areas are a few, and what we like I had mentioned earlier, heavy within data analytics. We do reporting whether it's a mid-size, small, or a large company. We would work with them. We are very tools agnostic in the sense that let's take for instance data analytics for reporting, and we need to do reporting using either Tableau, Power BI, Snowflake, any type of reporting tool. It doesn't really matter, because one of our biggest goal is, which is our motto, is people, process, and then technology. For every technology you build, if it doesn't have a process, nobody would be able to follow, and it would not bring that return in value, right? And also, without people, which is the number one, nothing is going to work, right? If people don't believe in the technology or the process, or do not understand the process, you won't be able to do anything, with your technology or process. So people is our number one priority in terms of training, understanding their business processes, and understanding what type of data they use. So within the data analytics space, we very much focus on data analytics. We do data science as well as data warehousing if there's a large amount of data. Also data mining and automation of processes. And then for every area, especially within data analytics, we always apply machine learning for predictive. If you want to predict, businesses want to predict what is going to happen, or forecast within their business areas what they need to be doing. So that is our data analytics, and that is our top focus. We also have a heavy experience in ERP, which is whether it's SAP, Microsoft, or Oracle. And so we are very familiar with the processes of integration, and also working with the business to optimize business processes. And we are definitely open to help our clients also with staff augmentation within our areas of expertise, which is, data analytics, ERP, program management. So I'm open to any questions. I cannot see your faces because of my screen, but this is our main core competencies. We are a small company out of the Houston area, where we just joined the Houston Minority Diversity Council, and we are looking to bring value to partners that would consider us to partner with them to bring value, to their business, whether it be a prime contractor or a direct client, that is anywhere in Houston or around the country. But anywhere there is systems, we can help with data, data governance, data integrity, data analytics. And just wanted to share some of our clients that we've worked with in the past, to show some past performance from our standpoint. We've worked in the past with Spinnaker. Spinnaker is a large third-party support company that works with companies like Cisco and some of the larger companies that we've worked with Spinnaker. And also we have experience working with, within the biotech industry with Amicus Therapeutics. And then we also have worked with Levi's and Strauss, who make the clothes, out of California, we did a huge analytics project with them. And then also we've worked with the state of Snohomish County, which is out of Seattle area. So this gives you a background of where we are as a small business. One of our core beliefs is really people, and that drives within our company as well, in terms of building resources, giving opportunity to the youth in our area, in the area of technology. So apart from data analytics, we get heavily involved in building technology to drive analytics. Do you have any questions for me?
You actually shaved a few minutes off of your presentation, Eric, and we appreciate that. At this point, the evaluators are welcome to start. I think we started last time with Mr. Darnell. So Allison or Helen, if you would like to go first, or Jorge.
Sure, I can go first. This is Allison. Well, I cannot see your screen, and so I am at a little bit of a disadvantage, especially when it comes to my advice. So my advice was, well, my feedback is that it's a little bit harder to follow because there weren't any purposeful pauses. Well, not any, of course, but I think maybe if you just focused on intentional pausing whenever you kind of move from one subject to the next, it would be a lot easier to follow. But of course, I don't have my screens in front of me, so I want you to take that with a grain of salt. But a pause is extreme, can be very useful and impactful to an audience. And so I would just encourage you to think about that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated.
Jorge or Helen?
I can go next. Okay, so I definitely think it was great content. But I think you have to also remember your audience is not, most of your audience might not be in technology. So they can understand why they see the words that you're saying and they understand the vocabulary. You kind of have to give real life examples. And I love that you mentioned some of your partnerships. It would have been good to see some of the objectives of the partnerships, or like what they wanted you to do for them, and then direct results of what you did for them. So, or your work with them. So how you increased, their revenue, or how you aided in building out some, category for them, or providing some insight and through some data analytics that perhaps they didn't have before you onboarded or you came on board. Does that make sense?
Yes, very much so. Thank you so much for that.
This is Allison again. Could I piggyback on that for 5 seconds? Absolutely. I would also say it would have been very helpful to get a blurb for each one. I think that would help me understand better about maybe brainstorm in my head of what you could do for me as a corporation. And then also I would just be careful, and I'm not saying you do or you don't. I have this conversation with our suppliers quite often. Some suppliers do not like their names being used publicly. I know ExxonMobil does not provide that very freely at all, which can be very, very discouraging, unfortunately. So I would just say, make sure you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed when it comes to approvals using names and any kind of specific project information, even though that all of it is extremely helpful and beneficial to share.
Very, very good. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Allison. Jorge, you're next.
Yes, thank you. I miss some comments from you around your experience and what you have achieved in your career, especially in small businesses. Management is really important. So I missed that part at the beginning of your presentation. So if you can add it to the next time, I think could be a differentiator, maybe, depending on your experience.
Sounds good. Okay. Would that also more be personal and corporate, right?
Yeah, but mainly corporate, and maybe in which companies have you worked with, and what you have achieved on those companies.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
And last but not least, Mr. Green.
Yeah, thank you. I like how you, coming from data background, you went right into it, right? You're about the numbers, you're about the big data. So I was able to see what you do, but to most of everyone's point, we did not see what you have done, right? We see what you do, but don't know what you've done regarding results, regarding applying that data data analytics to the projects that you've assisted those customers with, right? Outside of using the names, which is fine, but it's great to know what you've done. What were the KPIs? What did you save? What did you achieve? Et cetera, on those slides as well.
And that's a great point, Darnell. And as everyone said, Mr. Elewokor, you know, identifying and showing, you know, not just naming those companies, but what you did with those companies would greatly assist. And so we appreciate you taking the time and doing your presentation. Going forward within the next few weeks, we'll get the evaluator spreadsheet submissions, and we will get that to you. But thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for all your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, thank you.